Have you heard of a street theater? It's a term that's used when you are gaslighted by, say, a group or a person who's trying to gaslight you on a subject. For instance, maybe a couple of weeks ago, this is after my landlord showed me how my power, that is my MLGW, which stands for Memphis Light, Gas, and Water, and my Xfinity were being stole. She showed the wires that led from my apartment to apartment 21 and on down to 19, 17, 15, and 13. Anyway, they had street theater in front of the building and behind the building. For a couple of days, 3 days running, actually, I had these cherry pickers, these white trucks that have sort of like scorpion type. They go up like this, and that's a cherry picker thing where a person can stand and they can cut trees down that are hanging over the wires. They did that for 3 days running. It was in the front of the building, which is, you know, the front of the building. Then they did it again behind the building. They supposed to have been the utility people slash, I guess, arborists. They cut down trees and they worked on the lines. And they did that for 3 days running. And behind them was AT&T truck, utility truck. And then they showed um, the deep state Zoc. I mean, what do you call this thing? Bu- 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 It came about after 911. It's called CSA. It's sort of like a police state within our country, a foreign police state within our country. It's called Homeland Security. Homeland Security. Those are the same people that let tens of millions of people in our country in the last 4 years. Well, the Homeland Security blue car kept going back and forth while the white cherry picker trucks were up, supposedly untangling, cheated wires. People are stealing wires and stealing power, and they did it behind the building too. And since then, I got $17,000 in limbo in my Coinbase account. I know if your Coinbase is not in your wallet, then it's not yours. I'm not stupid. I know that. At one point, I had 6 Bitcoin way back in the day, but I just put a little bit in over the past, few months because, the halving. I think I started then, and I only have $17,000. Only it's $17,000 my money. I'm going to get it, even if I have to go all the way to Oakland to walk in their lobby and get it because everything of mine is hacked. My Gmail is hacked. My Xfinity Comcast ISP internet service provider are in on it. It sounds like paranoia, but they come after you. They really do come after you. When these people get you in their sites, they just go crazy. I used an allusion to how they send their brightest and smartest to come after you. Like when Kyrie Irving downloaded a link from Amazon a couple of years ago that came for him, and at the same time Kanye West was saying something. Next thing you know, $2 billion of money disappeared. 700 million directly from Deutsche Bank and Balenciaga and some other stuff. It's really crazy. Not only celebrities, but everybody. This small group of people do this because they employ a lot of people, such as the Masons and all these other fucking organizations. And most people are of a low spirit that they will do something to be in good with something. I've never understood people like that because I'm basically a loner. I'm a Sigma. That's why I'm a perfect target for this thing. Because I've never seen myself in league with anybody. I don't understand people who don't think for themselves. I'm a Jonathan Livingston Seagull. I'm a sole sovereign person. And when I meet somebody of my ilk, and I did a lot, I met a lot of people like that the years I lived in San Francisco. But here in my hometown, it's like very rare to meet somebody who's like. And I've been seeing something like really strange lately. Dark energy. I've been able to see halos. I used to call them halos, but I know it's aura, light color aura. My mother, my lover, one little roommate of mine, this little Russian boy, bright aura. But now I've been seeing dark auras, and he looks something like that Charlie Brown character, Peanuts, Charles Schultz character. There's one little character called Pigpen. He was a dirty little boy. You had Lucy, the girl always snatching the football. You had Charlie Brown, the idiot, and the little beagle. But there was one called Pigpen. He wasn't necessarily a bad character, but he always had this swirl of dust around him. And I've seen that twice in the past few months, and it just blown my mind. The first time I saw it was actually way back in 1976. I was at a party, Lower Nob Hill, actually Upper Tenderloin, with a friend of mine, Jason Cohen. It wasn't really a party; it was a smoking place where kids smoke. 20, 30-year-old kids. It was way back. This is back in the 70s. And I saw this person with a dark aura in a very dimly lit room, which was kind of crazy. How can you see darkness around darkness? I actually did. And I didn't think about it. I knew he was a murderer. San Francisco has a lot of serial killers that come in and out. I think the zebra killers, the one who eventually start Ramirez, he did his first kill on the street, Ellis Street, where I lived. Anyway, that's a long story short, but yeah, I'm being targeted, getting a lot of street theater. They got all of my utilities all messed up, and they think they'll get away with my Coinbase account, but it's not going to happen. Um, One thing I noticed is like the butterfly effect. When people do something bad in one place, say like you're in Memphis, Tennessee, then it goes through, say Silicon Valley and the San Francisco area, then it goes to Mumbai, or maybe it's going to the neighbors behind me. There are some Indian scammers who actually live on Angeles Street, about 140 North North Angeles Street, or is it Avalon? It's in the next block. But anyway, take care of yourself. I'm talking too long.